Starting the practice by sitting on your heels. Close your eyes, hands in the prayer pose. Take a few deep breaths in. 3 long deep inhales and exhales. Tuning in. Then moving your knees out and extending your torso forward. If you need to adjust the knees for a deeper or less deeper stretch, you can just move them, extending and letting your heart melt into the ground. And then slowly walking your hands to the left and feeling into the side stretch. Pausing there and just breathing. And gently walking yourself back through the center and to the other side. Again, feeling the stretch on the other side. Breathing deeply. Then gently returning back, walking yourself up and slowly bring the knees together. Coming into your tabletop and then from there into your downward dog. Bend the knees, stretch, and then just step yourself forward and turn to the center. Gently rocking side to side and exploring the sensation in your hips, maybe interlacing the fingertips and bring the stretch over. You open your shoulders and see if you can go a bit deeper. If it doesn't feel good, just stay wherever it feels pleasant for you. Hands on the ground and just very gently start to explore the stretch. Shifting side to side and just staying there. Going slowly and breathing, sensing and feeling any tightness. If you manage, maybe hands in the prayer pose and you can take it deeper, only if that feels okay and comfortable for you. So exploring and going deeper into the pose. Again, if this is not accessible to you, you can just stay on your hands. Otherwise, keep shifting side to side. This is slightly more dynamic, so you can bring the more warmth into your muscles, hopefully for a deeper stretch later. And then if you want, some of you might maybe be able to reach forward, extend deeper into the stretch. Again, if not, just lift up, stay higher on your hands and just hang there. For those of you who want to go deeper, extend forward and stay there. Or perhaps if you want another step further, you can interlace the fingertips behind your back, around your knee for a bind. It's quite intense. And another step, you can try to drop your hip 5 times on the ground and lift back up. It's quite challenging. You have to engage lots of muscles, so see if it works for you. If not, just stay there where it feels good for you. And then shifting to the other side and again doing the same thing on the other side. So whatever was best for you, whatever you opted on the one side, you want to replicate now on this side. So if just staying on your hands was enough, hang on there for as long as it's possible. Or if you want to go much deeper, binding around your knee or even perhaps dropping the hip down 5 times again. Keep smiling, keep breathing, feeling the stretch through your body and lifting yourself back up. Bring the feet slightly closer but still fairly wide for nice deep squat. Hands on your feet or on the ground and just see if you can bounce or maybe wiggle the hips side to side just to explore the stretch. Then toes, heels into your Malasana. And this either you can hold easily or not. Either your feet are fully down or you are squatting on your toes. Either is fine. So depending on your ability, on your body, perhaps you could use the blocks under your heels. It will make it much easier for you to stay there a bit deeper. And instead of rounding forward, see if you can lengthen through the spine, palms in front of your chest, pushing the thumbs into your sternum and feeling stretch. Perhaps opening side to side. just to give a bit of movement there for staying longer, forgetting about the stretch. So making yourself comfortable and perhaps diagonally stretch, reach to the side and high up a few times. Or you can stay static, again, follow whatever your body wants to do. I sometimes like to be more movable and like to feel the fluidity in the body, and sometimes I just like to stay static. So depending on the day and what you like to do, decide for yourself, as long as you stay in your Malasana. And you can maybe even experiment, some of you. You can come on your toes and back. And then let's take it deeper. If this works for you, see if you can fold forward and reach in front of you. I'll show you from the side as well. So see if you can sink in between your thighs and extend forward. Don't worry if you can't even touch the ground. Just stay with your stretch wherever you are. For the bendy ones, you can grab the heels and push the forehead to the ground. Another version, just demonstrating there is so many options. And then we are gonna come back into the downward dog. See if you can extend through the feet, through the legs, lifting through the tailbone up to the sky, and then just step your knee forward. So you're pressing the knee behind your right wrist, right knee, and if you feel you are opening sideways, perhaps you have got tightness in the hips and you can square the hips, use the block under your right hip. And just stay wherever you are. Find your nice and easy pigeon pose. If you want to, and it's okay for you to go a bit deeper, perhaps come on your forearms or extend fully forward. Again, this is very individual, so it depends on your body, on your abilities, maybe depends on the time of the day too, so you can experiment. For the bendier ones, there is an option to bring the foot a bit higher up, so you will have eventually your shin aligned with the top of your mat. Always keep your foot flexed. And then if you want to take it even deeper, extend forward. So these are the options. You don't have to do those. This is just a demonstration. You can stay whole time in your preferable pigeon pose. And then we are gonna tuck the toes, lift up into downward dog, and then bring the left knee to the left wrist. And we are gonna do the pigeon pose on the other side. Again, if you're falling over, you don't have quite flexibility there just yet, use the block under the hip, make yourself comfortable. How far you want to or can you go, then you go there. And resting, breathing, feeling the stretch and breathing into your stretch. And those of you who are bendier, again, you can take it further, always starting with the easier version and warming up before you choose your hardcore option. And make sure you stay long enough. Just breathe, settle your mind, settle your body. And gently walking yourself up and see if we can get into a double pigeon. This is quite advanced pose, so it might not be accessible to all of you, but I'll give you options. You might not be able to align the shins above each other, so feel free to use any bolster or pillow to support yourself. And then you might not be able to even reach the ground, that's fine, just stay with the stretch. The bendier ones will walk further and further, and maybe if you are really flexible, you might press the forehead to the ground. If not, don't worry, just stay with the easiest version. Just staying there for a moment and walking yourself up. And we are gonna swap the legs. So again, don't make yourself upset if this is a bit way out of your flexibility. Just stay wherever it feels good. As long as you feel the stretch, you don't have to go flat on the ground. Just listen to your body and do what feels good for you. Working with the muscles, feeling them, gently elongating them as you breathe. And then we are gonna gently transition into a wide angle. So flexing, pointing your toes a few times just to feel it, and then we will gently roll. So this is gonna be nice and soft, gently rolling side to side or walking from one leg to another, just to sense and feel how tight or maybe not tight you are today. exploring. Then we are gonna go for stir the pot. So creating peaceful warrior mudra and making circles. Your arms are straight, so don't bend the elbows, and give yourself few circles one way and few circles the other way around. If it's not a movement you are used to, maybe implement this one in your daily yoga practice. It's quite nice and gentle and makes you engage your muscles. And then we are gonna settle down in the fold. What I'm doing is a bit of cat-cow position with my back. So on inhale, open the chest, and then on exhale, rounding. And each time you open, you can feel more intensity as you're sinking forward. So again, go with your body's abilities and strengths. So if you feel quite tight, maybe use the bolsters or use the blocks or pillows and just support yourself wherever you are. You can make it into a yin yoga and stay like this watching telly for a few minutes. You don't have to be fully on the ground. You can stay just folded over something and relax. This really needs a long time to ease out into. And then we are gonna go for a cobbler pose. So pressing the feet together, interlacing the fingertips under your feet. Don't round the back, so lengthen through the crown of your head. And if you feel like it, you can use the blocks under your knees, under your thighs, and just staying there, breathing, keep lengthening. If you don't need the blocks, get rid of them. And then see, we will try certain things here. Few options again to give you. You can gently rock side to side from one sitting bone to another. Just see how it feels like for you. Explore the tightness. And then maybe you can push the knee down. So you pressing the hand against the knee, and at the same time you are pressing the knee against the hand. So it's not one way, it's two ways. Press. It's quite helpful to develop the flexibility that way. Or what you can do is push the knees down and hold there for a moment, and then see if you want to deepen. You can perhaps fold over. This is quite advanced pose which I haven't mastered, so more practice needed. Lifting up and pushing the knees down is another version to develop the flexibility. Press down, count maybe for 3, 2, 1, release. You can try a few times this little press in your own practice. And coming into your tabletop position, and from there sitting on your heels and sinking back into our wide baby stretch pose, child's pose. Staying there and breathing, and then transferring into laying down on the ground position. We are gonna do nice stretch, figure 4 stretch. So your right foot is on the top of your knee, and then squeeze the left knee in. You don't have to hold above the shin like I am doing here. You can just hold under your knee. So depending on your flexibility again, you will find a stretch suitable for you. If you are quite tight, you are gonna be a bit higher up, and that's fine too. And swapping the sides, so you have got now your left ankle above the right knee, and you can hold under the right knee or above the right shin and squeeze in. Keep flexing the foot and keep pushing the left knee away, so you can get nice square there. And then we have got this happy baby pose. You're grabbing your feet and gently rolling side to side. It nicely opens the hips and also releases your lower back. Perhaps you can try to extend. If you are super bendy, you might reach the ground. If not, at least a bit of stretch. Even if you keep the knees bent, just try to extend at least tiny bit. Maybe twisting the head side to side. And then we are gonna lift up into seated position and coming back into our child's pose just for a moment. Maybe feeling the stretch in your shoulders, prayer pose a few times. And from here, we're slowly gonna ease out onto our back. If you want to get a bit of relaxation in your cobbler pose to support your hips opening practice, you can support yourself with the blocks under your knees. And perhaps if you feel like it, you can bring the arms overhead, maybe grabbing the elbows, or just stretch and stay there. Or if you want, and Shavasana is great option for you, just separate the feet on the ground and your arms, your palms facing up, feet falling sideways, and just let yourself rest there. Zooming into your mind, noticing your breath, noticing the sensation in your body, and starting to lift up. So this was super short relaxation. And then thank you for joining me. Namaste.